Hello, it's Katie, and welcome back or to my channel if you are new here.
Pick your season or occupation. It's time to send in your application. Get to know your short-term friends you only talk to till summer ends. The best way.
If you haven't seen my past video, go ahead and watch that video before you watch this one, because this video is going to be talking about the challenge I did in my previous video, and then I'm also going to be doing like a random video idea. I took some BuzzFeed quizzes, and the results that I got from those quizzes, I made a story about it, and it was difficult, to say the least. You wouldn't think it would be, but it was. I did want to make some things clear before I actually read my story. So first thing is, I actually changed it to New Mexico, even though I don't really know a whole lot about New Mexico. I know a little more about New Mexico, and I thought that might be a little bit easier. I did have actually a very hard time trying to find names that I liked, but also names that everyone kind of knew. I wanted to be respectful, and I chose New Mexico. So I hope you guys are okay with that. But overall, I really enjoyed making the story. I wrote out the first chapter, and instead of reading the full thing, because it would take me a while to read, and I don't want to bore you guys, I just decided to read one scene from the chapter that I wrote. That the scene that I'm going to be reading, it establishes the season, obviously the name, setting, where like a beach area. I may change it depending on if I continue to write the story. Here is a little like backstory. So basically the story, a group of 4 friends, and they have just graduated high school, and before they all leave for college, they decide to spend the whole summer hanging out with each other and just reminiscing and making memories. I thought that might be interesting to do, because a lot of the stories that I write are very action-packed and sci-fi. This was a lot different. The genre was comedy. I normally don't write comedy. Now if I do, I will write, like I was just saying, sci-fi that are mainly drama and a little bit of mystery, but sometimes I'll also add comedic relief. I am going to put the screen recording on the screen, obviously, and I will read the story, but you all can pause it as much as you want. I want you to put the story onto the screen, so if you all can't understand a word or whatever I'm saying, you have the words on the screen that you can go back to. Let's go ahead and read the story. Before we get into this, this is just a rough draft, so it may not be perfect. Sand kicked up behind the friends as they raced one another to the ocean. Ivy and Olive held hands as both hems of their graduation gowns became wet from the white tips of the waves. Whoops and hollers erupted from the friends. Quinn put her arm around Olive's shoulders, giving her a tight hug as his own gown was soaking. "Throw her in," Toby exclaimed. Olive attempted at freeing from Quinn's grip. "No, no," Olive said, pointing a finger at Quinn's chest. Her sentence was cut short. Quinn threw his arms around Olive, bringing her down to the water. She rose up from the water and wiped her brown eyes that were slightly stinging from the salt water. Quinn stood there laughing hysterically, with his graduation robe now discarded, hanging from his shoulder. Olive looked over her shoulder to see Toby sneaking up on him. Luckily, the sounds of crashing waves masked the sound of Toby's legs sloshing the water around. Quinn let out a yelp when Toby had collided with his friend. Soon the two burst into a splashing match. Olive leaned into Ivy as she joined her side. She wiped the mascara from her cheeks, wishing she had traded the regular mascara with some waterproof mascara. If only she knew that she'd be jumping into the water fully clothed, something that she's done many times before. "How much you want to bet that either one of them is going to try to drown each other?" Olive said, glancing up at Ivy. Ivy giggled, but her laughter went faint when she noticed Quinn and Toby had made some sort of alliance to go against the two girls. "Run." Olive grabbed Ivy's hand. They trudged through the waves as they beat against the sides of their bare legs. The gowns definitely didn't help their attempt at escaping Quinn and Toby. Olive could see her parents and her friend's parents standing on the stairs meeting the sand. Penny Blake, Olive's mother, gazed at her daughter with a smile on her face. Her cheeks slightly flushed. Olive's father put her arm around his wife. Olive screamed when Toby pounced on her with a hand rubbing the top of her head. I think there were a few typos in there, which I didn't realize that until I read it a third time, which you would think that when going over it multiple times you would catch typos. But I was trying so hard for this story to not resemble Outer Banks, which I think it doesn't. Now, it does have a group of friends. Someone I was talking to was saying that every storyline usually takes parts from other books or other storylines, so I feel like the group of 4 friends going through summer and just having a fun time is a very repetitive and used storyline. Before I get started in the other part of the video, if you are interested in the face claims, if you're not sure what a face claim is, I do explain it in my tips and tricks for writing video, but I'll just briefly explain it here. You just choose a actor or whoever you see on Pinterest and you want, like, oh, that's how my character would look like. You can choose that picture or GIF even. If you also want to see who I picked, you can check out my Pinterest board. I also have a bunch of different settings that I just put into the Pinterest board for myself, just to help me write. I have the characters, what their houses look like, as well as their personality, just aesthetic pictures, and their rooms, their bedrooms. Put my Pinterest account below. I'll also link to the board that I'm talking about down in the description box, so you all can check that out if you're interested.
Okay, so I wanted to clarify things before I allow myself to keep talking. So this next part of the video, I'll be doing a special effects makeup. Also, while I was filming this video, my phone started to glitch, meaning the camera was just really glitchy, and I kept deleting the clips I was filming. Which is why I'm also wearing a different shirt, because I got frustrated and I just had to step away, and then I went back to filming, so I was like, I'll just refilm it. So that's what this is. I do explain about my phone issues in my outro. So I just wanted to clarify things.
I also went ahead and did this bruise on the side of my face, so you all can get a sense of what it's going to look like at the end of the video. I'm going to be going over the stuff that I usually use and the things that I actually made myself. I make my own scar wax, which, if you aren't really familiar with what scar wax is, basically it's kind of like a Play-Doh. When you do make your own scar wax, it can get a little bit sticky, so mine is a little bit sticky. The good thing is, since it is sticky, it does stick to your skin fairly well. So when you are making your scar wax, you can use Vaseline and flour. It's that easy. So you just mix, like I was just saying, Vaseline and flour, mix that together. I'm not entirely sure how much Vaseline or flour you put in, but there are tons and tons of videos on YouTube on how to make it. I'll link some below that I watched and helped me. You can put foundation or concealer or anything that matches your complexion and mix that around. This is what this palette has, all of the wonderful colors. Now, obviously, there are some glittery eyeshadows on here, but we're not going to use those because that's just going to look really weird and you don't want that. I'll be using a lot of these browns and purples to replicate that. We can see there's purples and a lot of pinks. Now I like to use blush because I feel like this is the perfect pink color. I thought this might be a fun idea for a video, in honor of Halloween coming up. I was like, why not? Okay. Perfecto. Wonderful. The makeup brushes I will be using, they're pretty miscellaneous, honestly. People use ripped up sponges to make their bruises, but I like to use makeup brushes. I know some people also use beauty blenders. I did wet this just in case if I did want to use it. I don't think I'm going to, but just in case if I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this dark purple color right here, and then once I get that down, I'm going to add this lightish purple color around the edges so it kind of looks like it's blending into my skin. I'm going to do the bruise on this side, but I'll turn this way so you all can see what I'm doing, because I know it might be a little bit difficult to see what I'm doing. So for this side, obviously I did the dark purple, and then around it you can see the light purple. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with the dark purple, and I'm going to dab it along my cheekbone. I'm starting to think this might look weird if I have two bruises on the same side, but it's fine. It's for you guys to try and learn what you're supposed to do. After I finish, getting the desired color that I want, I'll bring it up towards my eye. I'm going to take this brush kind of dry brush it like you would when you're painting. I would definitely try to make sure the bruise does not look like a perfect circle or a perfect shape or whatever. It's going to be all over the place because that's naturally what bruises are, because you kind of see where on this side where it was like up towards my brow bone and on my cheekbone, and then kind of towards this side of my face and downwards. I'm going to add a little more purple. Now I'm going to take this end of this brush and I'm just going to kind of drag it all over the place. I'm going to take this corner, this little part right here, and dab it into the color next to it. So, yeah, right there. Line it on the edges of the bruise. And then I will take the same brush I did before and bring it up towards me, up towards my eye. Take the same brush and drag it out so it mixes the colors. Okay, see, it's getting kind of close to this bruise over here. I'm going to take the same brush I did with the lighter purple, and I'm going to take the edge of the brush and do it in the middle. Because when you're doing bruises, sometimes you do want to add, a little bit of pink to it. I blended it all together. I really wish you could zoom on the front camera, but you can't. So here is this one, and then here is this one. I like this one a lot more. I don't know what happened, but this is your bruise. So, hi Scooters. Scooter always seems to make an entrance whenever I do videos. I'm going to show you guys how to scar wax. You're going to use the same end right there, and you're going to take the end of it and you're just going to run it across your scar wax. So try to flatten it as much as you can so it actually looks like it's on your skin. You're going to take your concealer or foundation or whatever, and if you are going to take a little bit of concealer.
This, everyone, is where it goes downhill from here. My phone glitched so much that it deleted half, or actually the full video of me explaining how to do this scar wax, and you can basically tell how frustrated I am in this next clip. I am so sorry. I am not sure why my phone was glitching.
I have no idea what just happened to my phone, but it completely just got rid of the clip I was just filming. Just put the scar wax on, and I used this lipstick to act as some blood because I don't actually have fake blood. Now I know it's not actual, the red color. I used the dark purple that I used for the original bruise, and I added it to the wound part. Then I used this end to flatten out the sides and added the purple to the skin. Alright, so I filmed this outro like a couple of times. My phone's glitching again. It was doing this like over the summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video and get a sense of how to do a bruise or how to do scar wax. And maybe if I get fake blood, I'll redo this part of the video and show you guys what I've learned and how to use fake blood. So yeah, I hope you liked the story. It was really fun. I love doing writing challenges. I thought it might be fun, to make a video about it like I said in my previous video. So if you haven't seen that, I mean, if you've gotten this far, I probably hope you've seen it. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, or whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I can drive, listening to Jackson 5. We can make it, we'll survive. Though we might be sleep deprived, employee discounts will be our fault when we make our money.